a full-on blackout, but I kind of half forgot, half remembered. You know when you
wondering why your arm hurts.
But it comes back to you, and I'm like, yo, wait a minute. And I pull up my sleeve, and I'm like, holy shit, Trump 26.
What's up, baby? Welcome back to another episode of Rated G with Gary G. Garcia and Brian Licata. I am your host, as always, Gary G. Garcia, along with my brother in Misinformation, Brian Licata. It's so good to see you, man. Today we have a special guest, is an understatement. I have no other word other than special. My man, Jason Scoop.
What
one
up?
Of the funniest fucking up-and-coming comedians out of New York City. I've had the pleasure of, I think you started your career before I did, even though you're younger than me.
Yeah,
I think you've been in the game a little longer than me.
Yeah, I've been out here in these streets for a minute, shut.
Fucking Jason Scoop, my dog. It's so good to have you. I haven't seen you in the longest. I want to introduce you to my boy, Brian Licata. This is my producer.
Okay. What up, Brian?
Hey, man. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
He's been checking out your podcast.
Nice.
And when I showed him the podcast, I said, I could easily get this dude on my show. And he said, let's get him.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know, Jason got a podcast. What's the name of the podcast?
It's the Donald J. Trump podcast. And I play Trump.
It's so fucking amazing, dude. It is so fucking amazing. I watch them and I forget I'm looking at you.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with it. And it's like people who, like, it doesn't matter what your political affiliate, like, it's not political, it's just funny, you know, because Trump was a funny-ass dude. And, like, I don't even really, like, I try on the podcast not even to talk about, like, like, obviously I'll say something like Sleepy Joe this and crooked that, but really I'm just, like, talking about him, you know, going to Kmart and shopping, or, you know, he caught his son smoking a vape pen, you know, or, like, his daughter Tiffany asked him to Cash App her 30 grand, and he's like, first off, what the hell is Cash App? I do cash, not I believe it, you know, so, you know, silly shit like that. And I come up with shit every week, and it's been great, man. It's great.
And that's what I love about it. It makes you wish that Trump actually had a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it makes you wish. You sit there and go, I wish this motherfucker really had a podcast, because like you said, it's really not political, but you talk about political figures and shit,
right? But
it's not in their politics. It's like, you know,
right.
I forgot who it was that he was saying he banged. When Queen Elizabeth died. Yo.
Oh yeah. I said on her deathbed, she called me and was like, you should run again. Boom, and then flatline. And then also I said, when I was out in England doing political stuff, she texts me at 3 in the morning, like, you up, ... And I'm like, And I'm like, apparently she wanted to hook up, right? The kids call it hook up. It's very interesting.
Yo, dude, that's the one thing I fucking love. Like, a lot of people do Trump impressions. I would say yours is up there. There are people who do great Trump impressions, but to me, nobody embodies Trump the way you embody him. It's more than just the voice being on point. It's the fucking movements. It's like you'll be telling a story and then you'll go, I know, like you'll just say these things that you go, that's exactly the way Trump would say.
It's the thought process. It's how he would think, how he thinks about situations.
It's the tiny, tiny little details.
Yes.
And everybody, they're like, how did you get so good? Honestly, how you get good at anything. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah. And I'm not going to lie, this brother right here, although I have yet to see anyone really do an impression of me that I was like, to me, that sounds like me. Actually, I heard one dude do it. He wasn't even a comedian.
Okay.
It was a fan that comes to see me all the time. And then his lady was like, he does an impression of you. And I was like, really? Let me hear it, because everybody has impressions of me, Tate, you, and like people that do good voices. And I'm never really like, that sounds like me. This dude, I literally started dying laughing because he sounded just like me. But right below this dude, Jason, you do the best impression of me, because it's not even, the voice is probably the best voice that anyone does, but you capture all the little shit that I would say it like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever I perform with this brother, which unfortunately has been a while since we performed together, but like I always go up before him and then he'll do like an impression of me. And it's exactly like I sit there dying because I'm like, that's exactly what I would have said. That's exactly what I would have said. Which leads me to ask a question.
My teeth.
Which leads me to this question, dude.
So it's like, he's like, he ain't that good an actor. Like, those motherfuckers is fucking. Like, you could tell they were fucking.
Oh, yo.
I haven't done this impression. Pause. Haven't done you in a little bit. Pause. Haven't done your impression in a minute, but dude, I always quote you all the time talking about Law and Order SVU. It's the funniest shit, bro.
I remember that time, man, you had a crazy deep conversation about Ice-T. You read his biography.
Yes.
What's going on with Ice-T?
What I love about Ice-T is he used to be a pimp, like a hardcore pimp. That's what he was.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He started doing hip hop. He became an actor that arrests pimps.
Right.
Like that's their number one thing. They go against
sexual crimes. Shit. Yeah, sex crimes.
And not only, but then I was telling Jason how he grew. Because I remember when he first, like the first 2 seasons, all he had was like one line. He would be like, "That's cold." No matter what happened. It could be like a chick gets gangbanged by a fucking football team and baseball team and all this shit goes on. And he'll just be like, "That's cold." And then he started getting more lines. Right. And then he got to a point where he was actually shooting and killing more people per season than all of them combined. Right. And I was saying how I loved when he killed someone because everybody else at the end, they'd be like with a drink, questioning why they became police officers or whatever, but not Ice-T. Ice-T, they'll be like, "Are you okay?" And he'll be like, "I just caught the bad guy." Like he don't care. And then he goes home and plays Call of Duty. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah. No.
So I got respect for that dude, man. Ice-T's the shit.
I didn't know I didn't know you were a big SVU fan. I didn't know this about you.
I was into
really
SVU.
Don't know the guy because he's the biggest.
I am.
I don't know why we've never talked about that. I love SVU.
Because since Olivia started writing the stories, because now she's one of the writers and producers. And since she took over, it's like with her, everything is rape. And that bothers me. Like they had this one episode where this dude was pretending to be a principal of like this high prestigious school, not the administrator who like lets people in. And it was a high prestigious school. So all these white women were fucking this dude to get their kids into the school. And it wound up, he was the janitor. So she said that was rape because they agreed to fuck the dude thinking he can get their kids into the school. They didn't agree to fuck him because he was the janitor.
I hate to say, but that sounds like a comedy.
Dude, but what kills me is most of the women were like, "Listen, I was trying to play against the game. I got played."
Right.
And Olivia's like, "No, you got raped." Right. No, they were both trying to break the fucking law. You know what I'm saying? Like he lied. Who doesn't lie?
Who doesn't lie? Exactly.
If lying to a chick is rape, then motherfuckers better stay out of the bars.
Exactly. And the dudes are getting raped too, because the chicks are lying too.
Yeah, they don't even look the same when you wake up.
Exactly.
So it's like everything is rape.
Right. That's unfortunate because it's like no show could really stay on top. I mean, we've seen it happen with The Simpsons. We've seen it happen. Nothing that lasts that long, except for maybe South Park, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had their golden years. They had the years that were better than others.
It's just like it became that everything is everything. No matter what you do, you lie to a chick, it's rape. This is rape. This is rape. Everything was, and I saw where it was going, and it just turned me off. I was just like, I don't want to live in this world where like people just don't fucking realize, take responsibilities. I mean, sure, he lied to you, but you were trying to bang this dude to get your kid in the school in front of other people.
I gotta look this episode up. This is an actual episode.
Actual episode, yeah.
I can't believe that they actually would get away with that. Like saying, that because he lied about his position.
Yeah.
Did he? Well, I assume he didn't get any of the kids into the school for real.
No, he didn't get them in.
Not rape though. That's just like you said, it's just a lie.
And most of the ladies were like, they were telling her, "Listen, I got played. I'm not ready to go to court against this dude and tell my fucking husband." And they're married. She's like, "I'm not ready to tell my husband that I fucked this dude because I was trying to get our daughter into the school."
Right.
And they're mad at her. And I get it. I'm like, yo, she realized she got played. That's called getting played.
Exactly.
You can't make rules and laws against every fucking thing.
Right.
You just can't protect everybody, man.
Right.
You know, and how else are people going to learn unless they get played?
Exactly.
I know what I know because I've been fucked over so many times.
Yeah, you live and you learn. You live and you learn. And you know, I got a crazy SVU story. I was actually many years ago, I accidentally impregnated a young lady. So she decided to go through with the procedure to terminate the pregnancy or whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I'm in the waiting room while she's in there. And what are they playing in the freaking abortion clinic? Marathon back to back to back to back to back is Law and Order SVU. Once again, all the rapes, and I'm like, yo, this is not the shit to play in here.
No.
Yeah, the show it was always on like daytime TV. Like I remember if I was staying home from school as a kid, that would be the show that was on. Always, like for hours during the middle of the day. You know. Yeah, it was always on like the USA channel, like on.
Oh, because I had cable. I didn't have cable until I was freaking 11.
Why not?
If I was home from school, all I would have was like the Rosie O'Donnell show, The View.
Horrible.
Kathy and Regis. That's all I freaking had, and One Life to Live. That's all I had. I didn't have cable until I was 11. I say that's my biggest like. The biggest like deprivedness of my childhood was not having cable. I wouldn't get the references kids were talking about in class, like Rugrats. I had to buy the VHSs to catch up on the Rugrats. But like all the Disney Channel shows, all the Nickelodeon, I didn't have that shit. And honestly, it's like I was like behind socially because I didn't get the references everybody was dropping.
Why didn't you have cable?
Because it's cheap. My dad's like a Polish like immigrant or whatever, and you know, like immigrants are cheap. So
he just didn't want to. He just didn't want to pay for it.
Like literally, that's it.
That's smart because he probably remembers when TV was free, and he's like, "I refuse to pay for this shit." You know what I'm saying? I refuse.
Yeah, you know, my dad was smart, and that's what I guess we had money, and I mean, we didn't have money, but we had a home and food and all that stuff. So I'm thankful for that. But like, when kids are like, "Yo, did you see?" I don't know, like Even Stevens last night on the Disney Channel. I'm like, no, but I saw a fucking live with Regis and fucking Kathy Lee, and they're like, who the fuck?
See, the Disney Channel was extra on top of the cable package too. I didn't have the Disney Channel. My dad wasn't paying for that shit.
Yeah,
fuck Disney. Yo, I got a question. When you do these shows, do you have them written up, or are you just going like you have topics you want to talk about, and then you just go freely off the top of your head?
Here's basically what I've done, and it has evolved a little bit since the first episode. Mm-hmm. First episode, I just had a rough outline, and I would tape them on like bullet points, and I would tape them to the lights so I could see him sitting at the desk. Then the second episode, I said, let me sprinkle in a few more details. But the beauty of it is I have my bullet points, and I've studied Trump so much that I kind of like know once again, like you guys were saying, how his brain thinks, that I'll just go on tangent, and sometimes from one bullet point I'll create 3 chunks of material off one bullet point. So that's the fun of it when I get lost in it. And that's why you're saying you watch it and you feel like, oh shit, it's like I'm really watching Trump, because in my mind Jason's gone, and I'm just the Donald, you know what I'm saying? So
it's amazing.
Could
you tell Brian your Trump story?
Oh,
Brian,
you have an interaction?
Oh yeah, dude. When Trump was running, he got a tattoo.
Yes.
Trump did?
Jason did.
I got a tattoo. Now, to tell the whole story, because it's funny telling this story over the years, his presence in society has changed. Like when I first told this story, everybody would just laugh. But now he was president for 4 years. People either love him or they hate him, and they have their like such strong opinions on this guy that they don't realize I got this tattoo just to be how my personality is. I was just wild, and I was drinking. I don't even drink that much these days. I still do a little bit, but at the time I was drinking, and I just wanted to be silly as a joke. This is the day he came down that escalator, that famous ride down the escalator.
Mm-hmm. And then they also have, by the way, on The Simpsons.
Oh, yes.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. And we could get into that because that's a whole nother thing. And we could go deep into the rap.
That's crazy, right?
Right. So that night, I'm out hanging with a bunch of comedian friends. We just did a show. You got the New York Post is there on the table with Trump's face in clown makeup. And I'm just laughing like, yo, the motherfucker who hosted the guy who just fired Gary Busey for fucking not running a halal cart properly on The Apprentice is running for president. And I'm thinking it's the guy who just fired LaToya Jackson because manager. Like, this motherfucker's running for president. So the idea
who fired LaToya Jackson.
And this is when I say my best ideas, I don't think of. If I sit there and go, I'm going to come up with the great idea, it doesn't, nothing comes.
No.
This idea literally came out of the sky like a brick and hit me in the freaking head. It like literally, I once again, I can't state how much I didn't think of it. It just came to me. Mm-hmm. And I just say to my buddy, Mikey Markovich, who, you know, you're out there in AC with Mike. And I said, Mike, what if I got a Trump 2016 tattoo?
Well, first of all, hold on a second. I did not know Mike was with you.
He paid for it.
Oh, shit.
He goes, if you do that, I will pay for it.
Oh, shit. I did not know that.
Him, Melissa Diaz, and Gene Getman, before they started dating. So really, my tattoo, I think, actually brought them together as a couple. I think that might have been the very first time they hung out. So,
well, we all got to thank you for that.
Yeah. No,
I say that because everybody hates that they're together. Like, all the comedians hate that. Are they still together?
I think they're still together.
Wow, good for them. Yeah. But all the comedians hated it. All the comedians hate it because everybody loves her, but doesn't really care too much for him.
Is an angel. She is an angel handcrafted by God himself. But
I have no problem with him.
Yeah, but Gene is also he's such a great guy. See, because I could be a hater if a girl who I adore is with a complete piece of shit, then I'm gonna have. But Gene is such a nice guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he had some bad interactions with certain people that made it worse than what he really is. I've never had a problem with him, just to make that clear.
Right. So that was the inception of the idea. But then it 9 shots later, because we're drinking heavy. And I start to second guess it. And Mike just goes, don't be a pussy. And at that age, I'm 30 now, but at that age, this was 7 years ago, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 7 years ago. At that age, if you called me a pussy, I might have just done anything. I would have I might have killed a guy. If you call me out, I'm like, pussy. Okay, let's get this fucking tattoo.
Yeah.
So then, long story short, I wake up we'll go back a little bit before we go.
You ain't got to rush it, man. Tell the story. It's great.
It's now, everything closes in New York City at 4 a.m. Mm-hmm. We're walking up, me and my whole drunken gang of friends, Mike, Gene, Melissa, a couple other people. It's 3:50 a.m. The dude is closing up the tattoo shop. He's pulling the gate down. And we're like, yo, our boy wants a tattoo. He's like, you coming back tomorrow? And they're like, no, you don't understand. He wants a Trump 2016 tattoo. He goes, opens the gate back up, calls the tattoo guy who's now walking in the subway on West 4th Street. He's like, come back. This guy wants a Trump 2016 tattoo. The guy's like, holy shit. Happened to be a Mexican guy. At the time, Trump, they're like, he's talking about the Mexicans. Happened to be a Mexican tattoo artist. So the Mexican guy comes back. They open the shop up. Now it's open after hours just for me to get this crazy ass tattoo. I get the Trump 2016. And then I'll be honest, I woke up the next morning it wasn't a full-on blackout, but I kind of half forgot, half remembered. When you
wondering why your arm hurts.
But it comes back to you, and I'm like, yo, wait a minute. And I pull up my sleeve, and I'm like, holy shit, Trump 2016, baby. So I get it, and everybody loves it, because once again, this is pre-Trump really winning any elections or politics or anything like that. He was just running. So everybody, even his most ardent haters now were like, yo, that's so funny. People really loved it. And they're like, you got to tweet him. You got to tweet him because he'll see it and he'll post it. So I tweeted him and I tweeted him and I tweeted him and I tweeted the kids. I tweeted Don Jr. and Ivanka and Eric and Tiffany and everybody. I'm like, come on, guys, give me a shout out. And I guess none of them saw it because they're probably getting tweeted at so often. And then I'll never forget, I had a job at the time walking dogs in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. And I didn't like, it was like 15 dogs at once. They'd all be biting each other. I'd have to pull them off. And I'm looking at the beautiful Manhattan skyline across the river. And I'm like, I don't want to be here in Brooklyn with these fucking dogs right now. I want to be in Manhattan, fucking doing big things in Manhattan. So I'm like feeling kind of discouraged. And I'm like, let me check my phone. Let me see if Trump saw my tweet. So I pull out the phone and I'm like, did Trump see my tweet? He didn't see the tweet, but he had a new tweet. And that tweet said, this Tuesday, I'm doing a book signing at Trump Tower. Come out and I'll sign your book. And I'm like, holy shit, this is it. This is my opportunity to fucking meet Trump. He'll be there. Man. I'll be there. My arm will be there. The media will be there. So I show up and crazy, like I'm online. The kid in front of me is like this scrawny, like Indian high school kid who's like, I'm a big Democrat. I hate Trump. And he had Hillary Clinton's book. He's like, I love Hillary, but I just want to see what all the hype is about with Trump. And then behind me was a woman whose little girl, her little girl, who I think was like a future lesbian because she kind of had like a buzz cut. And she's like, she plays hockey. But the little girl was a fan of Trump. So she's like, I took her out of school. She called out sick. She was in like 4th grade. She's like, she just loves Trump. She fucking loves Trump. So I'm like, all right, word. So it becomes this little group of us, the scrawny Indian kid who loves Hillary Clinton, the little lesbian girl whose mother took her out of school that day to meet her idol, Donald Trump, and me.
Amazing.
And they shuffle us in. Then we get into the lobby. We're waiting there from like 4 a.m. I made sure I got up early. One of the Real Housewives in New Jersey comes in and cuts the line. She cuts in front of a woman in a wheelchair.
Oh, so shit.
She starts arguing with the woman in the wheelchair. Then the scrawny Indian kid gets into it and they start screaming about it they start arguing about gay marriage. And I'm like, what? Gay marriage? And I'm like, yo, that's why she's a Real Housewife. They really do attract drama every goddamn
That's all they do. That's all they do.
Drama
all day, every day.
All day, every day. So in the midst of all this craziness, the little lesbian girl, the Indian kid, the Real Housewife, who now I'm like, she cut the line, but I don't know. Now I'm kind of flirting with her and shit. So I'm kind of taking her side over this. You know, I'm in the middle of this whole crazy mix. So then finally, it's my turn to meet Trump. This 8-foot tall guy ushers me over to Donald Trump. And I'm like, Mr. Trump, how you doing? And I remember hearing in an interview, he said he's not a fan of tattoos. So I made sure to include, I said, I know you're not a fan of tattoos, sir, but I've been so moved by your campaign. And I want to make America great again so bad that I got this tattoo, Donald. I got this tattoo. And he just lit up and he's like, wow. He's like, look, that's a big deal. He got a tat. I know deals. That is a big deal.
I know deals.
Like, yeah. And he's like, and I know deals. And he's like, what's your name? And I'm like, Scoop. And he's like, look, folks, I got to win the election next year for this kid, Scoop. I got to win for Scoop, right? We got to win. We're going to win so big. I cannot let this guy down. So then now it's like, wait a minute, come here. So now we're in front of the media. He's holding the book in his hand, pointing at the tattoo. He's like, yeah. He's like, he's like posing for pictures and I'm standing there. And then he goes and sits back down. And then I go to walk off and the media is like, no. They're like, how old are you? What's your name? What do you do for a living? Oh, you're a comedian. Where do you perform? So then they were finally done with me. I go to walk off. I bump into this guy from MSNBC. He's like, he had a little smirk on his face. He's like, so you're a comedian, huh? You want to do some jokes for our cameras? And I'm like, sure. So I start to do my Obama impression because, you know, at that time, Obama was still president.
Right.
And then he goes, can you do a Trump impression? I'm like, sure. So I do my Trump and he just goes, would you be willing to do that in front of him? And I'm like, fuck yeah, are you kidding me? I would love to do that in front of him. And he's like, yeah, we'll put it on our show tonight. It's going to air tonight at like 8 o'clock. I'm like, dope. So then he says to me, he gives me a little inside baseball. He's like, well, we interviewed him yesterday at the Woolman Rink in Central Park. And look, if we give him questions he likes, he gives us access. We can get anything we want. So he's basically giving away the whole game. He was like, if we give Trump questions that he likes, we could have access to him for anything we need. So he's like, so he'll hook it up. So I walk over with this guy and he goes, Mr. Trump, the comedian here, he does an impression of you. Would you like to see it? And Trump was like, sure. And then I do it. And Trump goes, he's like, wow. He's like, that's good. That's very good. He's like, wow, he's better than the pros. He is a pro. And then
that's what I mean when I say he captures him, man. It's just a little, yeah. Bro, he is a pro. I know pros.
I know pros.
It was something that, all I gotta say is like actually meeting that, everybody has an opinion on him. All of us, I have an opinion. Everybody has like a political opinion, but I gotta say, meeting him, when Kanye said me and Trump have dragon energy, Trump really does have dragon energy. And I'll tell you another thing, like this is why he won. He won because he could like connect with, like, I was online. There were thousands of people waiting in line. He has a tight schedule, but when he was talking to me, he was talking to me.
Yep.
Nothing else. He one-on-one, he was engaging. He was
present,
funny, and he made eye contact and shit. And that's the type of personality, you know what I'm saying, that goes all the way. You know?
You think that's like the truth? Like, cause he's like a real New York guy, right? Like, I mean, didn't he? He grew up in Manhattan and everything like that. I mean, he's got that.
He grew up in Queens, actually.
Queens,
States, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Is they didn't understand how he spoke, you know?
Yeah.
And how he moved.
Well, I always say it, man. At the time, I thought he was the worst speaking president we ever had at the time. And it wasn't even like, because if you listen to him in full content, you're like, okay, I get what he's saying. He just talks very, whatever. But he left a lot of room open for people to cut snippets and make him look foolish through the snippets.
Oh, yeah.
So badly that, you ask your average person who doesn't like him why they don't like him, and they'll say, oh, he's racist.
Right.
And then you'll say, well, give me an example. And they have none.
Right.
They have none. Because there is no example of him actually being a racist.
Yeah.
It's just the media push that this is what he is. And everybody goes, this is what he is. And they're like, well, give me an example.
He said we need a wall. And they turned a wall into racist. But he's saying we border security. All the nations have borders.
Yep.
Canada has a border. France, Italy, Spain, Germany. Yep. We just enforce the border. But I guess in Germany, their border, everybody around them is white. So if they say we need a wall in Germany, they're not going to say it's racist because I guess everyone's right. But because because
everybody outside of America is people of color.
Right. So, but yeah, I look, I know I've encountered racist people. I know racism. Trump, I can tell he's not a guy like him. He's thinking about deals and money and winning. People like that, they don't even like race. Like racist for poor people to talk. Racist for like
exactly. He's all about how much money you got.
Exactly. Like racist for fucking like poverty. You know what I'm saying? Like people on his level, they don't give a fuck about race at all. He's looking to line his pockets and and do deals and shit.
That's what it is. I mean, I personally never believed that aspect of it. But like I said, he spoke in a way that left a lot of room for what he said to be manipulated.
Oh, 1,000%.
And I used to always feel that way. And I said, I don't think we'll ever have a worse speaking president.
Well, and he also had
Biden.
he's also got the fan base though. His fan base.
By the way, this motherfucker does a great impression of Biden as well.
I got hairy legs. They turn blonde in the summer. Gary G or Gary V. And that's okay. Motivational speaker, and that's you know the thing.
You know the thing.
Where the fuck am I?
Where the fuck am I?
and that's what it is. We're in the foothills of America.
I've actually, it's so funny though, because he jumped on the scene and he blew right by Trump as far as being the worst speaking president in the world.
Yeah.
That he just blew right by him as if he was standing still. It was like, when I was telling Brian last week, it's like you're doing 100 on the highway. You're passing every car and you're like, oh shit. And then this car comes and goes boom. And you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That was Biden that just went by.
Right. And then now I'm seeing his vice president, Kamala.
Oh my God.
Bro, it's like, what the fuck? But it just goes to show you, like, I haven't really been paying attention to politics since Biden because I find him boring. But since I've been doing the Trump podcast, I've been trying to find clips to play in the podcast. So I've been looking at these clips of Biden, and it's like,
he's not boring. He's just fucking nuts.
Yeah. I'm like, I didn't realize it was that bad. Like, but I realized it's like, he's the president, but he's clearly not the one making the decisions.
No.
Like, somebody around him has to be running the show. And the crazy thing is, we don't know who the fuck that is.
Well, he's got a lot of wackos in there too. We talk about
they're
that
all
a lot on the
wackos.
show,
We've done a whole episode on some of the people that are running pentagrams, leather pentagrams on their chest, fucking dressing up like dogs with tail butt plugs and all kinds of crazy shit. And they're open about it.
Because my mind has been opening a lot to, but let's just put it this way. I'm not I wouldn't call myself a conspiracy theorist, but I have friends of mine who I know are very intelligent and they're not stupid, who believe there's clones and shit out there. Now, I don't know if there's clones. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's clones, but I would totally not be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
Like, in other words, I'd be like, there could be clones. That's where I am now. It's like,
right. There could be clones. And I don't know, my mind is a lot more open these days. Like when I was 20, everything looked, I look at it like your ground vision and then your helicopter vision. When I was 20 years old, I can see everything like I'm on the ground. But now I get a little bit older. Now I feel like I'm up in a helicopter and that's the whole picture.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of especially with like Epstein and and he was protected, and so then everybody.
We still don't know what's
all the tech stuff is creepy. We
still don't know what's on that list.
Creepy too.
You know what's crazy is I have a joke where I say, what do you think they're gonna hit us with next? And I go, you think it's gonna be the zombies? And the whole place goes quiet. And I go, you know what's crazy? If I would have asked that 3 years ago, everybody here would have been like, get the fuck out of here with that stupid ass zombie shit. And I'm like, I asked that shit today, and we're all like, ooh, I hope it's not the zombies.
Right.
Like, even though I don't think it's gonna be the zombies, if I woke up and it was zombies outside, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be like, get the fuck out of here. No, I'd be like, oh shit, the zombies is what they hit us with next.
Right. And I'd be like, are they gonna send us 1,200 again though? Like the zombie PPP package? You know what I'm saying?
The zombie PPP package, dog. You won't even be able to leave your house to get food. They have to deliver that shit in armor. You'll have like knights fucking delivering your fucking
drone delivery service.
Yep. We're sending out every American.
Dude, right now, man, you gotta,
come on, man.
Yo, you gotta start fucking watching. Yo, there's so much for your podcast. There is so much shit going on right now, dude. If you're not connected with a Daily Wire, I would take the $15 a month and get that shit, because there's so much information.
Ben Shapiro.
That's Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, he's on there,
Michael Knowles.
Okay.
What's her name? Candace Owens.
Yeah.
I have a little crush on Candace.
Oh, Candace is the shit, yo.
Yeah,
she's the shit. You know, and she's come a long way. She came, if I'm correct, she was born in the hood. You know, she had like eating disorders and shit. Like, you know, she came up in a
black girl. That's interesting. Normally, disorders is a Caucasian activity.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Is it?
I like the way he said that. Usually that's a Caucasian activity.
Because it is.
Because it is, yeah. Like, you know, like shooting up schools. You know, shooting up schools is very Caucasian. They say Black and Spanish people do it. I'm like, no, they don't shoot up the school. They go for specific people. And because they're not hitmen, they hit other people every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, other people get hit. They're not in there just randomly shooting at people. They're looking at someone, you know, they're looking for someone who bullied them or owes them money or some crazy shit.
Right.
You know, it's the white kids that are like, you know, I'm angry, so I'm going to kill everybody.
Right. Exactly.
Everybody got to feel my pain. Everybody.
Go back and look at all the fucking.
Remember that one white kid dude that he couldn't get a girlfriend?
Oh my God.
And he got so upset and he went out and started shooting bitches.
And his dad was a giant movie producer. His dad was a movie producer who made like the Transformers movies and shit worth like $250 million.
And
you couldn't get no pussy, and your father has $250 million fucking dollars.
That's not the women. That's you.
Right, exactly. That's why I didn't understand with this Me Too shit. Like Bill O'Reilly on Fox News, they're like, he paid $30 million for sexual harassment. I'm like, you have a TV show. How the fuck are you sexually harassing when you got a TV show?
Yeah,
there's still creeps.
She don't want to
creeps get TV shows. I mean, you guys got to see it. I mean, you're more in the entertainment business than I am. There's a lot of fucking freaks, bro. They're all freaks.
It's just, I don't understand it, man. Like, I just don't get it, because it's like, but I guess certain people have weird fucking fetishes, like fucking like
and the weirder. Nowadays, the weirder your fetish, the more chances you have of becoming president.
It's very, very fucking true. Did you hear about another thing? The Biden's the daughter's diary.
Oh yeah.
The daughter's diary.
About Biden's daughter's diary, dog.
Yeah, I don't.
She says in the diary.
Blow out the microphone. His daughter went to rehab, so I guess he has another drug kid, which is whatever. People have, whatever. I'm on
drugs. I just don't need rehab.
Yeah, I'm not throwing shade at his offspring for having drug problems, but
no.
She left a diary behind in the rehab, and they found it. And she writes about, and they confirmed it because it was stolen by the FBI. So that's how they confirmed it, because it was like, it was stolen. So they confirmed its authenticity. And she said she took showers with her father when she was like 9 and 10 and 11. And then she says she can't remember, but she thinks she might have been molested by her father, which is the current sitting president of the United States, Joe fucking Biden, who always on camera does creepy shit with kids, which I always said, okay, he's an old ass. We all have old family members, they're like another era. They don't know. But then you match that with this.
Oh no, dude!
And it becomes like,
dude, I never understood how anybody even voted for him. I'm gonna keep it real, because I looked at him as he molests children right on screen.
Right.
There's videos of him literally fondling children, and the parents going, "Okay, that's enough."
Right.
And then he'll say to them, "I'll see you guys tonight."
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. But I know why people voted for him. They didn't vote for him. They voted
against Trump.
Yeah.
Yep. That's like another joke I said. I say, I'm not surprised how crazy this shit is. This is what happens when you let your grandfather watch the kids for too long. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could do a weekend, but 4 years, shit's going to get fucked up. And I said, and I understand you didn't want the creepy uncle watching them because he was up there grabbing all their fucking crotches. But at the end of the day, I realized he was just trying to make sure they still had their proper parts.
Dude.
I used to think I was a bad father. Now my son says I'm a bad father. I go, you still got your dick, right? If you still got your dick, I was a good father. I didn't let you chop that shit off when you were fucking 12 and you liked the Barbie doll that your sister had. I didn't try to cut your dick off and go, oh, wait a minute. He's attracted to this one little Barbie doll. Let me cut his dick off.
I was just right before I called into the podcast. My girl is shooting a movie. She's on a set in there.
Oh, nice.
Cool. The makeup, okay? They start to talk about each one's listing their pronouns. The girl doing the makeup she goes, I'm pansexual. So the other one goes, well, what does that mean? She goes, I'm emotionally attracted to men, but physically attracted to women. So then the other girl, the girl she's doing the makeup on she goes, what are your pronouns? And she goes, she, her, they, them. So then the guy comes in and you could tell he's just a normal guy, but he's trying to fit in. But he's also when I say fit in, I mean, I think he's probably a heterosexual, but he goes, oh, I'm a he, him for now, but I'm open to options. And I'm like, dude, this is what gets me is we're getting into
conversation. That whole conversation that you overheard and shared with me just now.
Yeah,
made me throw up a little bit in my mouth.
Dude, imagine being in the damn room, man.
Not enough to spit it out. I had to swallow it.
Right.
But it made me regurgitate a little bit. The fact that people even get together in a group and go, what are your pronouns?
Yeah. And you know what the thing is? You know what my thought was? Because I tried to intellectualize it. I'm like, these people clearly do not have personalities. So that becomes their personality.
Yeah, well, they're looking for an identity, bro. Yeah, you're right. I would agree with that. Yeah.
You can tell they all like one person starts talking about the other person, and the guy who's like, I'm open to something. And it's like, dude, you're clearly trying to be part of some group. But also, I'm thinking like, I'm also thinking like the they them thing. They're like, well, sometimes I feel masculine, sometimes I feel feminine. I'm like, that's called being a person. Like everybody, sometimes you feel a little more, like if you're out playing football, you're going to feel a little more masculine. If you're out hunting with your dad in the woods, you're going to feel a little more masculine. But if you're like you're helping out on Thanksgiving, bake a pie, okay, or giving your girl a massage or something, and you're masseuse, you might feel a little more feminine, but you still have a penis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, choose one. Pick one. Even if like we're
pick one. It's not even choose one. It's not even pick one. The choice has been made for you.
Right. Exactly.
That's it. The choice has been made. You think you're the first one to say, I didn't ask to be born.
Right.
The only difference now, you're going, I didn't ask to be born a man.
Right.
Or I didn't ask to be born a woman. I get it. I do get it. You understand what I'm saying? Like you get those people that are like, I didn't ask to be. You're right. You didn't ask to be born, but this is what it is. You think
we're all in the same situation.
I made the joke. I want to identify as a rich person because nobody asked to be born in a poor neighborhood. If we all had the choice, we would choose a rich fucking family to be born to. If it was a choice, you get what you're given, and you work with it. And I remember, I think I shared this story, but I'll share it with you. I was talking to this chick once, right, and she was telling me a story about how her daughter is in the mental hospital because she tried to commit suicide.
Oof.
And I go, oh wow, that's fucked up, yo. I feel so bad for her, man. I mean, like, what happened? And she's like, well, they took a lot of pills. And I go, what? And she goes, yeah, well, they were home alone and they swallowed too many pills. And I go, wait, she was with friends? Like this was like a group thing, like a bunch of teens got together and all tried to overdose? She goes, oh no, she identifies as they and them. To which my response was, yeah, I'm not even gonna deal. We're not even gonna talk like that. We're not gonna do that. That was my response. We're not gonna do that. It's too confusing. And this is too important of a conversation than for us to be wrong when you say them fucking me up in my head because we're talking about one fucking person, your daughter.
Right.
That's who we're talking about. So if you're gonna continue with the they and them, call somebody up who actually gives a fuck about the they and thems. Right. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to talk to someone who cares about your daughter trying to commit suicide, we could talk about that. But that they and them shit, that's not even.
Yeah. And like, that. I don't understand the arrogance behind it. Like, you got to call me they. It's like, no, fucking nah, motherfucker.
King.
Like,
King.
Exactly. King.
My pronouns are king and almighty. It's just fucking ridiculous. Here's the thing, who even uses pronouns?
I know.
Like I never in my life thought I didn't even know what that was when they first started talking. I was like, pronouns, what the fuck are they talking about?
Right.
I didn't even know that the Mr. or he and she were pronouns. I didn't even really think of it that way. Now I think about it, it's a word that describes it now. I get it, but I never thought of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just foolishness. And that's what, like you said, Biden definitely ain't making the rules, like you said, because they're pushing this agenda that Biden would never be behind if he fucking wanted anything more than just the power of being the president, which is that's what he wants. He just wants to stay the president. He doesn't give a fuck who makes the decisions, because let's keep it real. This is the same person that when they were trying to integrate the schools said, I don't want my kids going to school with animals.
Yep.
He's not. There were teams who lost basketball. There are people who lost basketball teams for less than saying that. And this man became the president. And you can say, oh, he said that back in 60 something or 50 something or whatever it was. Yeah, but we're getting people
he called black kids
back in the day too.
He called black kids roaches.
Exactly.
When he gave the hairy leg speech, he goes, they got hairy legs and little kids are rum. That's where I learned the community. This little black kid, I call them roaches. He fucking openly said he called black kids roaches.
And he became president. And then there's one old 80-year-old fucking basketball team owner says, I don't want you bringing Magic Johnson to the fucking shows, and I don't want you hanging out with that black dude. Yeah, I don't think black dudes would want their ladies hanging out with Magic Johnson either.
Exactly. What was his name again?
I can't remember, but he lost the team.
The Clippers. It was the guy from the Clippers.
Jewish guy. I can't remember, but
give me a fucking break. No one will want their lady hanging out with Magic Johnson. You don't know who Magic Johnson is, right?
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
And this dude saying that shit, he becomes president. It's so funny how we pick and choose.
Yeah.
We just pick and choose. And yeah, did you bring anything up on that diary, dude? Because I noticed we just glanced over that diary.
Yeah. It was Donald Sterling was the guy.
Oh, Donald Sterling, yes.
Yeah. But I got some stuff up on the diary. Do we want to
talk about the diary? I don't want to glance over that shit, man. Yeah. That was some deep shit that Jason just brought up. Which, by the way, is it any different than Biden's computer, or any different than Hillary's emails, or any different than the list that fucking what's his name had of all the politicians and everybody that went to fucking Lolita Island?
Right. Yeah. It's all the fucking.
It's no different than any of that shit. It's just another major thing being covered up that we should all be going, what the fuck is up with that? That's all it is. Okay. What were you able to find on that, man?
Well, I got a quote here that says, I have always been boy crazy, hypersexualized at a young age. I remember somewhat being sexualized with a family member. I remember having sex with friends at a young age. Showers with my dad, probably not appropriate.
Yeah, that was written in there. And then she said, I think the next page after that, she says, was I molested? And then puts a big question mark on the page.
Yep.
And no one's talking about this shit.
No, it's like
nobody cares.
Even the clips of him like stumbling around, I'll find him on certain Instagrams, like that guy Benny Johnson. But on YouTube, I gotta really dig. You gotta really dig because
they don't put nothing up, dude. YouTube's the agenda. They're part of the agenda. Facebook. He openly admitted the FBI came to him and told him to get rid of certain shit that was being posted.
Right.
So it's crazy. And you know what it is? It goes back to like that dude I told you I was talking to last week. And this is how a lot of people think, especially when you don't look into the politics. And I hate that I'm looking into politics. I hate it. Me and my boy was saying we never cared about it till they fucked with us.
Yeah.
Once they locked us down, then I had to start going, okay, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, now you're affecting me.
Yep.
Not caring about me, that's fine. Affecting me is something different. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Not giving a fuck about me, if I'm middle class and you're taking all the taxes from me to deal with, all right, that's always happened. That's always going to happen. Fine. But I'm still able to go out and maneuver.
Right.
And then I got into this shit and I was talking to the dude and it's funny because he still prefers Biden. Like he still says Biden over Trump. And I'm like,
how?
I'm like, the dude is probably a molester. He's definitely pushing an agenda that's fucking insane and is going to be detriment to the fucking country, which won't even be a country anymore. We will not. They're trying to remove the nation. They want that one world shit. Well, if you want that, that's where that's going, right? And he came out and said to me, well, Trump's a bully. I don't like bullies. And I said, yeah, but that bulliness kept everybody in check.
It kept everybody in check.
It kept all those crazy countries in check. Because he would go up there and he would tweet real quick, I got my finger on the button, keep talking shit.
He played crazy on purpose. It was a tactic. Right out of the book, 48 Laws of Power. But also, I read a very interesting article by a psychologist who said, everybody's calling Trump a bully. But if you study, they go, a bully goes after smaller, weaker targets.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Everybody Trump goes after is actually bigger than him. He goes, he went after Clinton, the Clinton machine, the Clinton dynasty. He went after the Bushes, the Bush dynasty. Yep. He attacked Fox News. Anytime they didn't give him coverage, he's like, fuck you, Fox News. He went after the whole powerful cable news conglomerate that controls how people in his own party think. They go, everybody, if you study it, that Trump goes after is actually an even larger entity than him. A bully goes after somebody weaker.
Yep. I fucking love you, Jason.
Right
Jason,
back,
I just loved you a little more just now, Jason. That was so eloquently put. I mean, it's the truth. But then I said to him, dude, but the dude's a bully, you know, and I didn't even look at it the way you're saying it. I'm saying they're going, I was thinking like he's saying, see, that goes to show you how strong the media is. Because now when you look at it, like you just said, it's very simple. How is he a bully? He's going after people that can easily shut him down. They sent the FBI to his fucking house.
Yep.
So he ain't a bully because he's not going up against weak people.
Yeah, but I think that FBI raided his house brought his poll numbers up even fucking higher.
Dude, he's going to run even if he's in jail. Even if he's, do you know you can run if you're in jail? Do you know that? They asked, they said if he gets indicted, can he still run? They said, yeah, he can 100% run. It doesn't matter if you have a record. You just have to be you'd have to be born in America. That's it. And he would probably win.
Yeah.
He'd be the first. You don't become more hip hop than that. You know how they say he's the hip hop president? You don't get more hip hop than running the country from prison. Picture that motherfucker doing mixtapes from prison. You know what I'm saying? Everything would be like, you got to collect call from Donald Trump. You have an interview tonight from Donald Trump. You have a collect call from Donald Trump to talk to all the countries. It would have to be collect. That's fucking amazing. Just that thinking, I don't like bullies. So I'll take a dude who's fucking up our children. I'll take a dude who's probably, who I can pick a thing that he said, a couple of things that he said is racist. And I can't really pick anything that Trump has said that is racist, other than people saying he's racist.
Right.
I hate the fact that I look like I'm pro-Trump because I honestly don't care. I was never even a fan of his back in the day. I didn't hate the dude. You know, I respected that he had money, but I wasn't like a Trump fan. I never watched The Apprentice. I never cared.
I watched The Apprentice, but everybody's like, everybody liked him back then. I actually thought I hated him back then because I'm like, look at who does this guy think he is?
Yeah, I thought he was just smug, you know, rich.
Gold ass name on every fucking building in the city.
Exactly.
Like, they play this like royalty music when he comes in on The Apprentice. But then when he actually got in and I'm like, holy fuck. No, he actually has the chops to fucking back this shit up. What the fuck? But like back when he did some work with my dad's office, and my dad said he didn't pay my dad's office, which he says he's like, if he doesn't get what he wants, he won't pay him because whatever. And then my dad ended up fucking loving him. That's how much of a fucking genius Trump is. He didn't pay my dad's company, but my dad voted for him fucking twice. And it's like, that's boss shit. But yeah, no, I thought he was like just like an asshole before, but then he got in and I'm like, yo, he actually has like, he could back all this up with actions. And I'm like, that's crazy.
And it's crazy because, you know, when you look at the record, and it's funny, this is how much I wasn't into politics. I was very into Obama being president. I liked Obama. I could say I liked Obama. But what did I like about him? I liked that he sounded eloquent when he got on TV. I understood what he was saying. I didn't even like when they talked politics. I wasn't into politics, so it didn't really matter. But I could hear what he was saying. I could understand what he was saying.
I just like that he was black.
He was black. He was smooth. And, you know,
smooth
like
talker,
you know, the shit didn't go to complete hell. You know what I'm saying? Like everything didn't get, you know, but that's because I didn't know anything. Like I didn't know anything. I didn't know any of his agenda or any of the politics. I didn't know any of that stuff.
Right.
And I didn't really care for Trump.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because Trump to me, you know, the tweets and all that shit, I was like, oh man, please stop it. You know what I'm saying? Please stop it. But now that I know these things and I've done the research now, I realized that Obama was a horrible president.
Yeah.
He really wasn't a good president when it comes to the decisions and the things he did were not good for America.
It's true.
And Trump, if you look at the record of the things he did and take away his name and take away everything else, is going to be up there with one of the best presidents we ever had.
Yeah.
As far as doing the things the president does and you know, people don't want to give him the credit. But the truth of the matter is, when you look at the record, just on the stats of everything, and I always said it, I said, I bet he's probably doing a lot of good things because I'm making money right now. Like I'm chilling. I'm not being fucked with. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being harassed by cops anymore. I'm being pulled over, but yet crime isn't going berserk like it is now. You know what I'm saying? Crime was kind of in check, but I wasn't being harassed. you know, like I was in all the other previous fucking, you know, years before that. I said, he's probably not the worst. I said, I'm going to think he's the worst speaking president at the time. Mm-hmm. Oh, we just lost him.
Yeah, we lost him.
At the time, you know, I was like, he's the worst speaking president, but not, definitely not the worst president. Can he just go back on that link and come back in, or you got to send him a new link?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure he'll text me.
Yeah, maybe his phone died.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Oh, that'll suck, man. We'll see if he comes back up.
It's the first time we've ever had that happen.
Yeah, we never had that happen, right? But you know what? There's a first time for everything. I think his phone probably died because it just went right out. He's probably bugging out now on the other side, like, fuck.
No, I can't even call him back. Oh, yeah, here we go. He's back.
Oh, he's back. All right, cool.
Donald, are you with us?
There you go.
My bad, fellas. I'm back. The Biden administration heard me talking about him.
Turn your thing.
Oh, yeah.
Turn your phone. There you go.
Yeah. No, the Biden people heard us talking about him, and they sent these guys out of a van to try to kidnap me. But
but you fought the good fight.
That's right.
Jason, I fucking love you, dog. You're fucking insane, man.
I love you too, bro.
Insane. Not for nothing. On another note, I just want to give credit where credit is due. The only reason why I've ever played at Caroline's is because of this man right here. He was doing, I went to support his show because he was doing the up and coming, or what is it? The breakout show. Breakouts. And I had to go see my man Jason, because if anyone should be breaking out, it's my man Jason. And I go there and he says, dude, I want you on my show.
Hell yeah. And that's one of the best decisions I ever made, man.
I said, I don't want to be on the show, man. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? It's about you. That's what I told him. It's about you. And I'm not trying to be a dick. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be like all full of myself, but I know what I'm capable of doing on a stage, and I didn't want to take any shine at all away from him. That's exactly what it was. I was like, dude, I came here strictly to support you. And he said, dude, I want you on my show. And what's so crazy about that day, it was a monumental day for me, Jason, and you don't know that, but when I first started doing comedy, right, I was with my best friend, Lisa, and we were watching Patrice O'Neal. And after the show, I said, I'm going to do this shit. I mean, he was at Caroline's. I said, I'm going to do this shit. She said, what? I said, I'm going to do comedy. And she was like, really? And I go, yeah. And I looked at her. I said, give me 4 years and I'll be on that stage. So when you told me you wanted me on the show, and I said, all right, I'll do it. And I went on the show. I texted her right away. I said, yo, I'm playing Caroline's tonight. And she responded, holy shit, Gary, it's 4 years.
Wow.
And I was bugging. And you're the reason that happened, Jason.
Well,
I appreciate you, man.
You know, I'm a huge fucking fan of yours. And
you.
Yeah.
You
know? And look, we're both making a lot of things happen. And this is good times. 2022, as much as the economy's fucked up and Sleepy Joe and all that shit, we're moving and shaking. You know,
nobody knows this right now, Jason, except probably Brian. But this right here, one day people are going to search this fucking thing when they're talking about the legend fucking Jason and the legend G. And before them dudes became who they are, yo, you can find a podcast of these motherfuckers kicking it. They were boys. Isn't it great when you see like great artists, right? And then you find out that like behind the scene, they were boys. And then you get like these pictures of them just fucking chilling.
Yeah. It's always cool.
You know what I mean when I say there's enough room in the picture for legends, man. And true artists, they're not jealous of each other. They're not, you know, I don't look at it as a competition. When I see him go up and he kills, I just want to go up and kill too.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I just want to kill too. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be better than him. I just want to kill too. There's no better than him. He's a fucking legend right here.
We want to give
people all the time. Watch the people who I bring on this fucking show, man. You know, these people are going to be legends. If you don't know them now, you will.
That's
right. And if you're watching my show, you'll be like, I saw them when.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I saw them when they started doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Jason, you're the fucking Mac, yo.
Love.
You're the fucking Mac. What do you got going on now other than that, man? What do you got going on?
Well, October 13th, I'm headlining the New Haven Comedy Club up
Very
in
nice.
Connecticut. Yeah, and I got a whole bunch of other shit, but it's in my notes calendar shit that's in the phone that I'm holding right now to film myself. But
well, I'm gonna put your link. I'm gonna put your link and
Yeah,
everything on there to follow you and all that stuff. Anyway, man. At the end of the show, we'll do that shit, man.
The whole schedule, and follow me. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Just doing a lot of
The
amazing
fucking podcast is so fucking good, dude.
Yeah,
it's so fucking good. How many episodes have you done so far? Let's show a clip of his podcast. Yeah, let's do that, man. Go to don't do the shorts. Go to his podcast.
Here we
go to that one. Yeah. Just so people get a taste of it. This shit is so fucking good, man. We need volume.
It's as up as loud as it goes. You got to turn it up on your end.
Nah, I'm not hearing nothing. Can you hear it?
No,
I can't.
Can you hear it? I can't hear it. Pick another one. Grab another one.
There you go.
I had lots of tremendous times with the Queen. We had a wonderful relationship with the Queen. I remember one time I was in England. I get a text once again early in the morning. I look at my phone and it's Queen Elizabeth, and she says, "Don, ... you up?" ? She's asking if I was awake. And I'm like, well, frankly, of course I'm up. I'm always up, okay? I'm always up because I'm winning. Turns out, it looks like the Queen wanted to, they call it the kid sparing hookup, right? She wanted to hook up. But I wouldn't do that to my wonderful wife, even with royalty, because I'm such a loyal guy. But, the Queen wanted to hook up, and, very interesting, frankly, not really my type. Okay, I'm not going to rate the Queen on a scale of 1 to 10, but, I'm not going to go there. Wouldn't be more than a 4, but once again, out of respect, I'm not going to go there with the Queen. But look, before the Queen passed away, right before, her last phone call was to me. A lot of people don't know this. And she said, "Don, I want to use my last breaths to tell you to run for president again." Her last thing she said, and Harry would be right there with you with Crazy Megan, and they can attest, right, if they're honest. She said, "Mr. Trump, I want you to make America great again, and then flatlined. Incredible. Right?
There you go. Yeah, you got that. That is fucking great. That is fucking great. I want you to make America great again. Boom. And then flatlined. And he said, once they were there, if they're honest, that's the shit I'm talking about. That whole, if they're honest, like the way he just fucking embodies it, man. It's fucking brilliant. Dude, you're going to be such a fucking star. It's crazy, man. I mean, you already are. It's just a matter of people catching up.
That's right.
That's all it is. It's just the people. It's not a person that's going to see you and not agree with me, man. Fucking hysterical shit. I fucking love it, man. When was the shit? I'm trying to think when the last time I performed with you was, man.
Probably.
I don't think it was the Brooklyn show. I think we performed again after that Brooklyn show, but that Brooklyn show might have been the last one.
Possibly.
I don't even know. I got to get you on my shows, man. You're not too big to come show up for some shows, right?
Oh no. Oh yeah. Just let me know, and I'm there.
I got to get you on like my Monday show. I got the midnight show, but I want to try to get you into Astoria. Once again, Astoria, man. I'm trying to get shit popping out there, motherfuckers. Get off your couches on Monday. Come fucking hang out. You know what I'm saying? It's a brilliant show. The people I bring down are fucking beast.
Astoria, Queens is one of my favorite places to perform. There's certain spots in New York outside of Manhattan, because Manhattan is great. And Manhattan, you got the places where it's just tourists and the places where it's a little more locals. But outside of Manhattan, Astoria, certain spots in Brooklyn, even there was one room, I forgot the name of the guy who booked it, but it was all the way up on Dyckman in Washington Heights, Saturday nights at like 9 p.m. And I came up with so much new motherfucker. That was like my go-to room for coming up with new shit, because the audience was just so fucking cool. Those Dominicans up there, bruh. Bruh. Yeah.
Are you playing at the Cellar yet?
No. But
how are you not at the fucking Cellar yet? But I mean, I'm not at the Cellar either, but I'm like, how are you not? because people are getting in there.
Yeah, but it's
our class is getting in there, and it's like I'm sitting there going, "How is Jason?"
Yeah, it's okay though, because I'm making a lot of moves and I'm doing a lot, and I'm also building. I'm working so hard to build a family.
No, I mean, listen, that doesn't make or break you. I was just kind of interested in that because I'm doing my thing too. You know what I'm saying? There's not a comic that wouldn't cut my throat to take my place up here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I play every fucking single night, and I'm paying all my bills. I'm doing my shit, man. I'm chilling.
Now, are you in Queens?
No, I'm in Atlantic City.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay,
yeah, I moved out here. I'm going on 4 years now, dog.
Yeah, I got to get back down there.
Crazy.
Too.
Oh yeah, I got to get you out here, dude. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, say less.
Come on down to Atlantic City.
You know, say less. You can crash with me too. So I'll save the money. I'll save the money on the fucking hotel. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Say less, man. That's tonight. I'm gonna talk to them tonight, yo. Are you under any kind of time constriction? Because if you are, all you gotta do is let us know that you gotta go. Because on weekends we go. We just gotta go.
I'm good. All right. Yeah.
What was I gonna say, man?
Not sure.
Yeah, I mean, we all got our own path to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, like that's not a make or break. I just wanted to know. Did you know Gina now is like managing there now? Savage.
Yeah, I did hear that. Yes, and me and we go way back. That's my girl. So.
Oh no, I love her, man. She always comes on top.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She definitely has a lot of shit that she's had to battle through, but she always ends up on top.
Yeah.
You know, she's a warrior. That warrior spirit is dope.
All that matters at the end of the day, whatever this, that, the other, come out on top, But it's like every time you fall off the horse, you get back on. As long as you get back on. A lot of people, they're just like, fuck that horse. It's like, no, you gotta get back on, bro.
Some people just walk next to it.
Exactly. Right. They're like, yeah, I'm fine back here.
It's so much tougher. Yeah. Yo, so what made you start? You said I noticed earlier. You said you're starting to drink. You're drinking less, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Was there an epiphany? Did you wake up and like a bundle of garbage?
Right. It boils down to this. I noticed that my productivity is stronger when I have many days in a row or weeks in a row without it. You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to fully walk away from booze. Booze is a beautiful thing. I mean, my God, booze is
it's the worst fucking drug out there.
Oh, yeah, by far the worst drug out there. I think it kills the most people. Just think like auto deaths and all the crazy shit and people falling asleep someplace. And then one guy lost his legs because he got blacked out, fell asleep on railroad tracks, and the train came by and took his legs off. So, yeah, booze.
Dude, I was a little tasty the other night. I'm smoking a cigarette in the bed. And I have my thing like this, and I'm laying down. I look at my cigarette. I go, damn, you know how many motherfuckers be drunk and they fall asleep while they're smoking a cigarette?
Yeah.
And then that made me think to myself. Then that made me think to myself because they wind up dying.
Yeah.
Like they don't just go and jump out of the fucking bed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I say to myself, so I'm sitting there looking at this shit as I'm starting to pass out as I'm sitting there with a lit cigarette, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, so how does that work? Like, does the bed get engulfed with you in the middle? And then you're just, stuck. At some point you have to wake up, no?
Right.
It has to be a sobering moment, no?
They're so hammered that at the point where they do get up, maybe they're just trapped at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because fire.
What a way to go.
Ooh.
If you got like a garbage pail next to your bed or the thing, and then you got the drapes there, drapes, the walls catch that, everything. I've seen videos of it. Fire spreads super quick, especially a house made out of fucking sheetrock and 2x4s. Like,
oh man,
yeah,
that's a horrible way to go.
Truly.
But, and then forget about like if you do the Jimi Hendrix.
Right.
I mean, I almost did that once. Luckily, I passed out face down.
Right.
But when I woke up, it was like just like I vomited in my sleep, and I was thinking to myself, shit, if I would have been on my back.
Yeah, you could have choked on it. It's crazy.
Man. Alcohol is a crazy drug.
It really is. But like I said,
a lot of them are.
Yeah, I find that I am the most productive when I got like a sober mind for an extenuated period of time. Because I look at alcohol as almost like it's like a staycation. I'm home, but you drink. You're on a vacation from your thoughts and everything. Yeah. If you don't take that break, you're always on your grind and you're always calculating, and it never stops. It never stops. Even when you're sleeping, you could be dreaming about it. You know,
100.
and you know, you got a guy like, not to bring up Trump again, because a lot of Trump talk, but he's never drank in his life because his older brother Fred died.
Right.
That's right.
43 or something. So Trump was like, I never had a drink in my life. And I could see if he did, we might not have ever had a President Trump, because as wild as he is sober, you can only imagine him with a couple shots of fucking Jack. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine, or cocaine. Imagine Trump on cocaine.
He was definitely eating Adderall like fucking Tic Tacs though.
He said he never did any drugs.
Yeah, I don't believe that though, bro. Listen,
I mean, he
dude,
says it.
Yeah,
and then he says, listen, if you never did it, it's not hard to not do it.
There's no way, bro, that you can be that old and have that much energy without some sort of stimulant.
You think so? I think that if I didn't constantly stimulate myself, I would have more energy.
Yeah, but dude,
I
just
disagree
not at like 70, bro. It's just like
but
biologically.
Listen, man, I'm in my 50s. I'm almost deep in my 50s, and I feel.
Yeah, but you get a little
and I feel
fucking
like if I didn't do
kickstart
all the stimulants
every time.
If I didn't do the stimulants, I probably would have more energy. Because stimulants give you energy for brief spurts.
Right.
You're always in a mode of recuperating.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
What I'm saying?
So true, because anytime I've done Adderall, the next day I have zero energy, all my muscles hurt, and I feel like shit mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but if you keep taking it, you don't have that.
If you keep taking it, yeah, you also got no fucking no working dick,
dude. But I mean, the guy was awake like for 20 hours a day every day for like 5 years. You know, there's no way, bro. I know they're shooting up all those politicians with shit.
Nah, not necessarily, dog. Because I remember there was a time all I did was marijuana, and I was functioning on 4 hours of sleep a day.
Yeah, bro. But like the type of function that you needed versus the type of function that the president needs are two totally different levels of function.
That's true, but listen, I was a hustler, dog. You got to be on your P's and Q's.
I understand that, bro. But it's not even remotely close to the same.
You get caught sleeping, it's a whole lot different, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality. Is that I was looking at much more worse consequences if I fuck up.
Oh, yeah.
My consequences were a lot worse if I fuck up. So
dude, you weren't about to like send the world into World War III though if you fuck up. Maybe your neighborhood.
No, that's true.
Maybe your neighborhood.
Nah, not at all. I'd like to think I was that much of an impact, but I wasn't that much of an impact. You know, I came up third in funniest person in the neighborhood, and that was honorable mention. And they literally put honorable mention, and I came up third in the honorable mentions.
So they had like neighborhood voting.
They did this thing on Ravenswood for Life where they were like, who's the funniest dude in our hood? And Ravenswood for Life is all people from Ravenswood. You know, it's got like 2,000 fucking people on there or something. And everyone
was it a Facebook group?
Yeah, Facebook group. Everybody naming all these people.
It's the guy who won, or girl.
No, it was a guy.
Yeah, I was probably a guy. It's the guy who won. Was he black? Because
yes.
Yeah, black people are black people are very fucking funny.
Yeah. I mean, now that I think about it, they were all black. So the fact that I even came up in the conversation, I guess I did even better than I thought.
Exactly. You got to factor that in.
Yeah.
You got to factor scientific polling. You got to factor that in.
Yeah, you do have to factor that in, because the truth is, I always said it. I wasn't the funniest person in my hood by far. I wasn't even the funniest one in my family.
Right. Which is fine. That's, you know.
I was just the one that said I'm funny enough. Let's fucking go be funny for a living. You know, any one of them could have did it. Right.
But that guy who won funniest, could he do stand-up? That's a whole nother beast.
That is a whole other beast.
It really is. Now, if you worked on it, or he could, if he really applied himself. But if you don't apply yourself, then no. People don't realize it's the whole other beast, you know. Like, I'm really funny. Is. Oh, my coworkers tell me I'm funny, and then they get up there and they fucking don't even know how to stand right. You know what I'm saying? The posture's off. They're playing with the fucking mic cord. You know what I'm saying? Telling some story that only the people who they brought, who knows the inside shit about what everybody else is like, what the fuck is going on here right now?
Man. It is a whole nother beast.
Truly.
You know, And the truth is, like the people who are like who I would say are funnier than me, they probably wouldn't even want to do it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, in a way that kept me from doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
When people were telling me that I should be a comedian for all those years, for those fucking 30 years, I was like, I don't want to have to be funny.
Right. I bring it back to that Jerry Seinfeld thing. He talked about like the definition of show business. And he's like, it's a band and their car broke down. So they had to walk through the blizzard to get to their gig. So they're walking, they got their violins and the bass guy's carrying his huge bass and they're all fucking trancing through the fucking blizzard and the snow. And then they see a little cottage in the distance and it's got like a smoke coming out of the chimney and they see there's lights on inside. So they peek in the window and they see a family and the kids are playing on the carpet and the mother and father are eating dinner and they're all cozy and warm and the TV's playing and they got some nice Christmas music on and the band people outside in the fucking terrible blizzard and shit, they all look at that and they're like, ew, how could they do that? And it's basically like you got to be built for an alternative lifestyle to be in show business. You know, your DNA, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't really functionally do anything else and truly be happy or living your fullest potential doing anything else.
Well said. Very, very well said. Yep.
Oh yeah. It's another, yeah. It's a lonely thing too, man. Show business is very lonely, man. People don't realize that shit.
Yeah.
You know? And I do it on such like a small level. Like as far as like, you know, once again, like I'm at a point where like if I die today, no one could say, oh, I tried to become a comedian. I'm a 100% professional comedian. I'm on the books. I get paid. You know what I'm saying? I pay my taxes on this shit. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I actually went out and did it. Am I where I want to be? No, I have my dreams are loftier, but I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's like, man, why did I even start this story? There was a reason. What were we just saying? We were just saying how, it's different.
Being like kind of being an artist. Yeah. Different lifestyle.
Oh yeah. Cause I do it on such a small level where like on the weekends, right? Mm-hmm. Saturdays, both shows, 150 people. I have 2 great sets. You know, I stand outside, say bye to everybody, have a conversation with mad people. And then they all leave in groups and I go home right through the casino because I've been out here long enough. So hanging out ain't even a thing for me no more, really. I don't even want to do. I just go home and I come home to my cat and I crawl in bed with my cat. I light up a blunt and I'm alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I like being alone. So for me, I knew what you know, at my age now, at 52, after being married for 25 years and being all the time with people and all that shit, and, you know, knowing that I was getting into something that's very lonely. I knew what I was getting into. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And now you take someone at Jason's age. When did you get into this? You got into this very young.
Yeah, I think I was like fresh out of high school. But, you know, the first couple of years, I kind of like dicked around.
Yeah.
I would take the train, grew up in Long Island. I would take the train into the city, do an open mic. And then I remember when I first started doing well, like I got 5 jokes that hit. And then people who come up to me, people now who are fucking performing at the White House Correspondents' Dinner at that time, they're like, wow, that was so good. But you know, and then I would just be like, oh, thanks. And then I'd leave, you know, because I was like shy or whatever, you know. So then after that, then you start doing this. And I started interning at Broadway Comedy Club, and then things build, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a slow progression. So when you say, oh, I started at this date, yeah, but people don't realize like that's when people say
right.
Like,
overnight success takes many years to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
But Jason, you're one of those comedians that at any given moment it could pop.
Yeah.
Any given moment. It just takes the right. And this is back when I first saw you, and I've been doing this 7 years. So I'm going back 7 years at least with you. So it's like one of those things that, let's say when you were young, it popped.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that had happened. You know what I'm saying? And now you're not aware, and all the people around you ain't your real friends.
Yeah.
All the people around you, you're their business.
Exactly.
Their job is to make sure that, you know, whatever you say is good and you're always happy and whatever, but they're not your real friends.
Yeah. And also, I have, in regards to that, I have no regrets at all. And I look back on my life, everything up until this moment, and I look at right now. And if this A, B, C, and D didn't happen, I wouldn't be where I'm at now.
Had you popped earlier, you'd be dead probably by now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, probably.
You would.
times. Yeah, exactly. And like,
if you popped earlier, you'd probably be dead. You not popping is a blessing to you. When you pop, you're just gonna be fucking, and everyone's gonna say it's an overnight success because you're just gonna take it and go. And no, it's many years, and you should be grateful that it hasn't like really took off yet. You should be fucking very grateful for that.
Thought of exactly that. I have
because that's what I say. Like I could deal with that shit. I could deal with coming home alone, but younger minds, wouldn't even appreciate. Like if I was 25 right now, I wouldn't even appreciate the fact that I'm doing this shit. I'm living this shit. I wake up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, do a podcast, hang out after this with my cat, and then go to work for 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even appreciate that if I was 20 something or even 30. I probably wouldn't even appreciate it because I'm not where I want to be. And then I finally get there and there would be no peace because I get there and it would just be loneliness.
Right.
Because to get there, and this is what a lot of people don't realize, is there's a lot of sacrifice.
A lot of sacrifice. And
to get there's a lot of sacrifice. And that sacrifice is 80% a selfishness to the people you love.
Yeah.
It's choosing this over having that house where you're watching TV on the holidays when, you know what I'm saying? When it's the holidays.
Yeah.
In the process of that come people that would love to have that with you.
Yeah.
And you're saying no, because this is, for me, it's a calling, man. And I feel like, true artists feel like that's what there's no other way they could be happy.
Yeah.
To do that, I would be sitting on that recliner with regret and like looking at people with disdain, like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
And there's a selfishness to that, man. And it's a horrible thing when you care, and I care.
Yeah.
So for me, it's one of the things that is, it's that hits me more than coming home alone.
Yeah, man. I don't think you can really be an artist without caring like that, though. I think that's part of that struggle.
I don't think you have kinds, man. There's people that are very self-absorbed.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Not those people that are very self-absorbed, and those are the ones that when they blow up, they're assholes.
Right.
Because it's all about them, and it's always been about them, and they got a lot of talent, but it's still about like me. I appreciate. I realize that the shit I do, like I say it all the time, ain't me. I'm a vessel, man. I don't know where this shit comes up from. Right. I literally don't sit there and write nothing. And yet I got some shit that's like so put together when I look at it. I'm like, yeah, where did that fucking come from, man?
And also the key of what you said, that I was actually thinking about this before I called into the podcast. I was actually thinking about what you said about, you're like, I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I'm thankful I don't have a day job. I'm doing this full time. There are people who are even ahead of you who are fucking miserable and hate on other people that are higher up than them. And it's like, I'm talking truly miserable. Like you just see it coming in. You can see it coming out of their pores. And it's like, bro, like I'm in your position too, full time. Just the fact that I don't have to work. I was working manual freaking labor at a moving company. I said every day.
You walk fucking dogs.
Exactly. I walk dogs every day. That I'm thinking that I'm no longer carrying boxes and dressers and couches upstairs, but also that's another thing. I'm so freaking thankful that I had that job, because the dudes I met doing that, the guys I met, like I work with some dudes who've been to prison for 10 years, which always the nicest. Anybody that has been to jail for 10 years is the nicest, most kindest for some reason.
Not everyone.
The ones that
I think we need to pull that back a little bit. The ones you've met,
right? The ones
have been the nicest. I'm pretty sure there's a couple that came out from doing 10 years and then go right back in to do another 30.
I should absolutely preface that. The ones I met, but not just guys, but just like, and even like, because my last day job was even just as recent as last year. Now, granted, I was still making a lot of money last year from comedy, but I was still holding on to it because I'm like, I'm double dipping now with the money. But which is whatever. I mean, I'm still.
Yeah,
I'm glad
I was doing that too.
Yeah, but meeting. This is another thing that goes back to being miserable. Guys that are miserable. I was working with these young guys. They were like 18, 19, 20. And they fucked with me and I fucked with them. And I remember when I was their age, maybe a guy, I'm 30 now, who like didn't like me just because I was fucking younger. And I'm like, wow, I hope I never am like that. So now I'm this age and I was so close with those younger guys, and it's like, how do you hate on the fucking youth, bro? The youth, like these kids, and I'm not talking about some lame Gen Z, they, them in the pronoun. I'm talking like real ass dudes.
Yeah.
That, and it's like, I taught them things, they taught me things, and I'm like, this is if you start going older and getting grumpier and more miserable, bro, it's only gonna go downhill. But if you get older and you're in touch with, like, it's like Kanye, he's like, he goes, what did he say? He goes, I only listen to people younger than me. He goes, you older than me, I'm not listening to you. Like, he sounded crazy when he was sounding manic.
Did you see the clip? Did you see the clip of Kanye where it says Sway was right?
Yes. Well, I've seen every clip.
when he says Sway was right, and he goes, how Sway? How Sway?
Then he sounded so zen. He goes, I guess Sway had the answers. And then he starts like smiling to himself.
Yeah.
Dude, Kanye is another one like Trump. Like, I study Kanye, and it's like, he's another one where it's like that.
Did you ever do the Kanye tattoo?
Oh, yeah.
Look at this other tattoo. Kanye 2020.
That was my follow-up. Follow-up. And plus, it's like, if anybody thought Trump was racist, it's like, I got the black guy on the other arm, bitch. So it's like, how can I be racist? Even though, I mean, like, I'm part black myself, but, I'm very fair-skinned. But, my mom's from freaking Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, here it is.
He now plans to sell the Yeezy brand directly to consumers, something he argued about with radio host Sway back in 2013.
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man.
So Sway, almost 10 years ago, said, man, why don't you do it on your own? Was he right?
You know what? I will go ahead and say Sway had the answer. I know people are gonna be like, no.
Zen, like how he said it all fucking zen.
That is fucking great. Oh, I want to go back to what you said about the 10 years, people being like real. Did you see the Vice thing? Did I send it to you, Brian? Where the Vice, they tried to do a puff piece on like sexual offenders.
Okay.
And they had like, these sexual offenders on there, and they're doing, that scene where they're talking about, what they wish will happen to them. And the guy's like, I got out, I got all this opportunity. I know what I got to do, and I'm going to do it. It's going to be hawks. People ain't going to give me a chance, but if I get that chance, I'm going to take it and run and all this and that. And then they show him walking up the steps, and it says several hours after this interview, he sent the picture of his penis to our producers. So sometimes I bring that up to say that sometimes.
Right. Very good point.
Because it depends on what the person got locked up for too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A person who got locked up for like attempted murder. It depends on that situation.
I'm still laughing at the last thing he said. He's like, and 4 hours later.
Did you got the video, dude? Did you find it? I think I sent it to you. This is it right here. Yo, check this.
Like, we all out here in this world, and we all got to make it happen, and ain't nothing stopping me. So, like, I'm very hopeful and confident.
After this interview, Ashif sent a picture of his penis to our producer.
Oh my God. And that's a big dude. I'm thinking he sent her a picture of a big black prison dick.
You think he framed it up nice?
I'm thinking it was aggressive. He probably laid it across the long length of the pillow.
He didn't need any trick photography.
Nah. He probably put #no filter.
Right.
He just laid it across the long end of the pillow and just fucking sent it to her.
Yeah, a lot of dudes, they need an angle and the photography and the da-da-da-da. This guy's like one take.
One take back. Puts it next to a soda can. He has a 6-pack lined up. But what's crazy is, that's that whole piece right there, them trying to like make people, trying to make us be what's the word I'm looking for? Not sensitive, but
accepting like pedophiles.
Yes, it's like they're trying to make us feel sorry.
It's
that
fucking
this person.
Crazy. It's crazy. They changed the name to MAPS instead of.
We had a whole episode of this shit, dude. Minor attracted persons.
Addicted. Minor attracted persons.
Yeah, he's addicted. All right.
Yeah,
he's addicted to little dicks and chochies. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking horrible that they're doing this shit, and it's also, it's in everything. They're trying to let these criminals out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people are wondering, why are they trying to do this? Well, they're trying to do this to create chaos.
You know what's crazy, though? You know what's crazy? And I might get in trouble for saying this, but...
Not on this show.
Not on this show. When it leaked out,
anyone listening to this show knows what to expect, dude. If I'm still on, I don't even know how it's possible.
But this is something I thought of. And I want to preface this first saying that I have literally one of my mentors in life. I have nothing against the alphabet community. One of my mentors happened to be a G in the LGBTQ. I love all the gay, but it's kind of ironic. And this is just an observation. This isn't an opinion.
I think you're going to say something that we've already said. So I want to see if we're agreeing.
I remember I came up in the Bush era when they were trying to fight for gay marriage. And the opponents to gay marriage said, if you give them that, if you give them gay marriage, what's next? It's only they're gonna ask for more and and people will be marrying animals next and and comedians said jokes like, so what? You can marry an animal, it's not her, and And then, but all the people who were super liberal were like, no, dude, they just want that they love and they want to get married, which is fine. Like I said, I don't have I have zero prejudice against gay people. But it's just kind of interesting to observe all these years later, everything that the crazy anti-gay marriage people said were going to happen. And now we're talking about MAPS. It's fucking wild.
And what's even crazier, right? Because shit is puzzles. You got to put the pieces together. So we're talking about MAPS. They're trying to get us to be sensitive and care about pedophiles, right? Crazy. To the point where I watch a lot of podcasts where they will bleep out the word pedophile.
You have to. Yeah.
Yes. You can't say it on YouTube or some.
Yep.
Like,
so Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, I believe.
Does all shit get bleeped?
Yeah, well, I do it like anytime in the clips. If there's any word that is like offensive or
you bleep it.
I bleep.
But we don't bleep it in our podcast, do we?
No, but dude, we have so many community guideline reviews and like all of our episodes get flagged for like 18 and over, like almost all the time. Like, did you see the beginning to the last one?
I know it's. Well, that's because first of all, you got to stop putting the shit in the titles.
Well, listen, man, but that's how people see it, bro. I
know. I don't give a fuck, dude. We got to keep doing what we're doing. But it's even to the point where they bleep out the word pedophile. Since when did that become a curse? It's not a cursed word. It's a fucking curse to society. So they bleep that out, right? And now they want us to call them MAPS because we got to be sensitive to their feelings. We're hurting their feelings. And at the same time, they're trying to make us sensitive to their feelings. They're sexualizing the children in school.
Yeah.
They're having the whatchamacallit reading time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where they have the drag reading for third graders. You know, they're doing all that stupid shit with pronouns in the third grade.
And that Netflix show, Cuties. You remember Cuties?
Yeah, we talked about that when that shit was on.
Horrible. Oh yeah, TV's been sexualizing kids forever. Yeah. But now they're trying to do it in the school.
Well, that's because the people that making TV are fucking kids. That's probably why.
Very true.
It's fucking insane, dude. You know what I'm saying? I blame the parents. If you got a daughter that's 13 and she got even 1,000 followers. Even 1,000 followers on her TikTok or on her Insta, even 1,000. Do you think your 13-year-old daughter has 1,000 friends?
Right. That's a really good point.
Do you think they got 1,000 friends? And she's up there and she's fucking doing things for likes, doing it for the gram, and fucking
you see it. You see, because I remember one time, this is when I first got TikTok. There was a girl, she was really, like you said, about 13, and she puts in her freaking caption, "I like older men." So then I go to the comment, all these dudes with full grown beards and wife and kids in the thing are and I'm like, bruh, this TikTok shit is what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
TikTok is a prime. We spoke about that. It's a breeding ground for predators, dog. They even got, you remember they had that fucking filter that makes you look younger.
Yes.
Makes you look like a young kid.
Yep.
Older chicks were opening up, fans only or OnlyFans, whatever the fuck they call it. OnlyFans, using that filter and playing with themselves and shit like that. Right. And all these pervs are watching that because she looks like she's fucking 12, 11. Right. And then at the end, they'll take it off and go, "This was all legal. I'm of age."
That's weird, bro.
That's insane.
And the VR and the robot stuff is coming. We're not far away from that.
But I will say this: if you're not a pedophile, TikTok is a great place to pick up MILFs and women between the ages of 35 and 55, because they're trying to fit in. They're trying to be like their daughters, like doing the dances. And if you give a like and a comment, they'll be like, "Oh my God, you like me?" I'm just saying, if you're in that market, there's a lot of moms and shit that want to be 18 again.
That is one of the saddest things. Yeah. And that's another thing with the trans and the children shit. A lot of it's the parents. Mm-hmm. They want to be down with this movement. So what they're doing is they're using their children and they're fucking abusing these kids. It's abuse.
I didn't read it.
Fucking abuse.
I heard this woman who's an author talk about this shit on Joe Rogan. She said a group of friends, 5 girls, they all decide at once, we're going to become boys. It's like, you know how rare this shit is? 5 friends all decide they want to become boys. And then a lot of them now, enough time has gone by. It's 2022. They're interviewing people who did it, and now they want to go back, but they can't.
They can't.
You guys have heard about this shit.
Oh, no, they can't. Yeah, they can't go back, and it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing it now to kids not even old enough to get a tattoo. And they're fucking doing it to these kids, and they can't go back. Their reproductive organs are ruined forever. And I said once before, and I'll say it again, it's just another puzzle to the eugenics piece. It's another piece to the eugenics puzzle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Trying to say that there's too many people in this world. There's too many people in the world for them to control. But there's not too many people in this world. Jason, you travel. I'm pretty sure, you travel a lot by car. Mm-hmm. In America alone.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you see just land everywhere for hours and hours? Just land.
Cows and shit. There's so many cows.
There's not too many people for the world. In fact, I heard somewhere, I forgot where it is, but you could take the population of the world and fit them in Texas. The population of the world in Texas. Now, everybody wouldn't have these big houses. It would be like New York.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you could fit everyone in Texas.
Yeah.
And that leaves the rest of the world open.
Right.
But yet they're trying to convince us that there's too many people in this world. There's too many people in this world for them to control. Yeah. It's hard to control massive amounts of people.
Anybody who is super pro environment is anti-human.
Yep.
It's just a fact. There is nobody who is aggressively pro environment who's also pro human being. It does not exist. You cannot find them.
Yeah. And that's insanity too.
And it's like,
I'm sorry you hate yourself. Why do we all got to deal with that you hate yourself? You feel like you're worthless. You feel like you're smaller than the planet.
Yeah, I don't understand. People are like, oh, I just feel so insignificant. And I was like, no, you're a person. Being a person is fucking awesome. Your parents fucked. You came out. You know how many people ended up in fucking jizz rags and shit. You won the fucking lottery.
Yeah.
And you
have unappreciative.
Think you could create jokes and draw paintings and fucking write ideas down and fucking do anything. You could fucking work on cars or fucking wear a hat. I'm wearing a hat. That's awesome. I get to wear a hat. People who were like, human beings are bad and I like cows better. It's like, dude, cows I got nothing against cows, but like, if I had to,
you don't want to get canceled by the cow culture.
I'm choosing you, Gary. I'm not choosing the fucking cow. The cow can get chopped up in front of me. I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's insane how people just like don't appreciate being alive, man. Listen, if you could coast through this world unnoticed, just knowing the people you want to know and never create it, what's wrong with that? I don't mind coasting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing too, man. Once we talk about before about, being an artist and shit, it's not something I like. It's not something I asked for. No. In reality, it's not something that I wish. You know how many times I come home and I wish I didn't have dreams?
Yeah.
I wish I didn't have this overwhelming feeling to have to do this, this is what I was supposed to do. This is why I was born. I wish I didn't have that. You understand what I'm saying? Because then maybe I could be in a warm house.
Yeah.
That's what I think about when you tell that story. I also thought about like how much it must have sucked back in the day to be the bass player, right?
Right, because you got to carry that motherfucker.
And that's why I learned drums.
Hey, what about right now? They
even right now.
Around right now.
Even right now, but it's much smaller, and it's funny too. People go, gee, you play guitar? I go, yeah, I come from music, of course. And they go, how come you don't bring that to the stage with you in your comedy? Because I don't want to carry a fucking guitar with me everywhere I go. I just want to show up and pick up the mic and talk.
Right.
You know
much
what I'm saying?
Easier.
And if you're really paying attention, you will see I am still playing music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you really pay attention, you'll see, man, I'm still playing music. I'm just not bringing the instruments, man. I am the instrument now.
And you don't need to mix it.
To be the drummer.
You are so fucking funny on your own. And then
a fucking drummer.
Separately from that, with music, you're also fucking awesome. But you don't need to mish my shit
I don't
together.
even want to. I find no desire to. I don't see the connection of them both.
Exactly.
I really don't. In fact, I see everything I went through to the point where I started doing comedy as those are the things I needed to go through to be the comedian that I am today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like even the music and all that shit, man. I love when people come up to me and they go, it's like, you have this rhythm, the way you move, it's like you're dancing. And I go, I want to be a choreographer. Music was my passion. You know what I'm saying? And all those things are still in there. And when people notice it, I'm really touched when they notice it because I feel like that's where they really met me on that level of what it is I do,
Yeah.
But I wish I didn't have dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think anyone should be jealous of a person like me or you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because there are parts of me that are jealous of them.
But they always will be. There will always be jealousy out in the world.
Yeah. But it's like crazy because like I personally, like I hear the wind right now whipping outside my window right now. My hallway is a whistle because there's a little hole in the way, a whistle that sounds very creepy and scary, right? I don't want to go out tonight.
Right.
I don't. I wish I could just curl up and didn't care and no, but I'm going to get up and go out in that fucking rain and storm and go do 2 shows.
Right.
And come back alone.
It's the cat.
But it's like there's a part of me that goes, I would be so fine. And there was a time as I was living this life that would bring me here that I was very comfortable just going to work, making enough money to fucking pay my bills and be able to, go on trips twice a year. I was very happy doing it. It was fucking great.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the heart got stirred and, then you got to realize where your true happiness is, which is what you got to do. Is your lady done doing her shooting? She's trying to get back in the car and you're telling
my buddy Steve is hanging with me here.
Oh, I thought there was somebody there this whole time, man.
Well,
how you gonna leave him out of the picture, man?
He got out like 20 minutes ago, and he just came back in. He's, you see his rating out there. This is my camera guy, man. This guy films all my shit, man. This is my
great work, man. It looks good.
Yeah.
It looks awesome, bro.
My VP. This is my Mike Pence. This is my Kamala Harris.
Pence.
Yeah, this is who was Clinton's VP?
Kamala.
Al Gore. No, I'd never compare you to Al Gore. That fucking lunatic. We were just talking about the environment and how it's all fucking bullshit. Like the environmentalist people, they just hate fucking humans and shit.
Well, you know what I like? I like the way they changed the name to climate change. It used to be called global warming,
right?
And now they're saying that it's actually colder than it was.
Exactly.
Although they tried to say in the summer, look how hot it is. Yeah, it's the fucking summer.
Right.
And then they switched it to climate change, which is now they call people climate change deniers. I'm not a climate change denier. I know the climate changes. I get depressed every time it does. 4 times a year, I get depressed.
Same shit. I get depressed in the wintertime.
Yeah, I get depressed every transition of the weather. When it goes from the summer to the winter, I get depressed. You know what I'm saying?
Or
and now they give a name to that, of course. They got to give a name to fucking everything. But I mean, so I know there's a climate change. I know right now the climate is changing. It wasn't raining before, now it's raining. All I'm saying is, all you motherfuckers who think that you are so fucking big that you are affecting this planet, go fuck yourself. On behalf of me and everybody else who feels like me, go fuck yourself. And if you don't agree, good, don't agree with me. This is America. Don't fucking agree with me, but I don't take it back. You're a fucking idiot if you think that you're fucking, I flick a I throw blunt ashes out my car. Oh, the environment. Do you really think the environment cares about my blunt ashes, you fucking stupid fuck? Are you really kidding me that you really think we are affecting the planet?
It's insane.
They lie to us every year.
Yeah.
And then they just take it back. And no one cares. No one cares.
Right.
No
and
one
then
cares.
Biden doing all this like catering to the fucking pro-environment people. That's why gas is $700 a fucking gallon.
No, the best is now it's $3.50. And it was like, oh, gas is cheaper. And I'm like, yeah, from the $5 that it was, but you do realize it's still higher than it was.
That's how quickly people are fucking retarded. People are literally retarded. Most people are
puppets.
Yeah. They're just,
and it's insanity.
Yeah, it really is. And they don't even realize it. They just get by.
Insanity. Although I was saying the other day, it's funny because like I look at myself and the way I am, and I look at Democrats and Republicans, and I realize what it is in a simple term is Democrats are old people doing what the young people want to do, which is just fuck who you want to fuck, work less, give me money, clear my debt and all that. But the older you become, you just naturally become more conservative. You just do. You start to sit there and go, listen, family's important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To get where I am, I have to bust my ass. Maybe you should bust your ass, because I've been where you were and I'm telling you it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm. I also find Democrats, for the most part, don't believe they could ever like make more money. Like they just don't believe it's possible.
Well, they try to make people victims, man.
Exactly. Where it's like Republicans are more like, well, I'm gonna work harder. I could really see myself, like being fucking like, wealthy or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like it's like a mindset. Like it's just like a mindset different. But
people
obviously
just want to believe that there's, people want to believe that the reason that they haven't done what they wanted to do with their life is somebody else's fault. There's a reason other than the fact you didn't do what you had to do to get what it is you wanted.
Exactly.
They don't want to say that to themselves. They want to sit there and go, well, it's harder for me because I'm this or I'm that, or I'm a woman, or I'm black, or I'm Spanish, No, just get up and do what you got to do.
But here's another level to that. Even if it is somebody else's fault, you can't harp on it, or else you're just gonna
you're never gonna get over it.
Yeah, if it is somebody else's fault, that, my friend, is called an obstacle.
An obstacle, and there's a way
that's
to
what
get
that is. And obstacles are there to teach us to fly. It's there to teach us to get over that obstacle.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna deny that some people don't get shit because of, listen, when I went to go get my job, I had to cut my dreads because I knew if I walked in there with dreads, I wasn't gonna get my job.
Right.
Nowadays, you got teachers going to school looking worse than the students. And that's allowed. Like we were talking about, I know you seen the chick with the big ass breast. You seen that one? The dude that wears the fake titties in the shop class?
Yep.
Right? How is that acceptable at all?
It's I remember
it's a hazard.
In middle school, if their skirt wasn't a certain length, they'd be
the spaghetti straps. You couldn't wear spaghetti strap shirts.
It wasn't fucking private school. This was public government school.
Yes.
Like, you're fucking, if your tank top thing isn't fucking like wide enough, or your skirt's not long enough, you gotta, your mom or your dad has gotta come. You gotta change the fucking sweatpants.
Change the skirt.
They used to make, in my elementary school, they used to make us every morning, we would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. The entire school, everyone would be in their own classroom. The Pledge of Allegiance would come on the loudspeaker. And then they had sheets of songs that we all had to sing. And they would be like some sort of patriotic song. We go right into that after the national anthem, and it would be a short song. And then we'd start the day.
And then every day. Kyle! And start the day.
Dude, but when you think about it, that's exactly what it is, bro. It's exactly what it is.
The truth of the matter is, right? And this is the crazy thing, like that I hear people saying, I go, that's true, you know? Everything's indoctrination.
Right.
Yeah.
All school is indoctrination.
Right.
So when people say, oh, they're indoctrinating our kids with this trans shit, they are.
Right.
But all school's indoctrination. In a sense, you're trying to get them to get, even when it comes to, I brought my kids up Christian. At the time, I was deep in the shirt and I brought them up. Was I brainwashing them? No, I was bringing them up the way I thought was the right way to bring them up back in the day when we had the right to bring our kids up the way we wanted to. Now they're trying to take that shit away. You know, once again, all the pieces, because, you know, you get two people working, no one can take care of your kid. Who's going to take care of your kid? The government steps in and go, we'll take care of your kid. All these after school programs now. And now they're the ones indoctrinating your children. So it's all a matter of who do you want to indoctrinate your kids, you or the government?
Or the government, right.
You know, and if you choose the government, okay, well, right now there's two sides of the government. What do you prefer being the indoctrination? Do you prefer it being your boy is not a boy? It could be a girl or nothing or whatever. Up is down, down is up, left is right, right is left. Or do you want the people that go, family matters? If you're a boy, you're a boy, work hard and you will achieve. I mean, those are the blankets of it. Not, you know, I know there's, listen, I'm not saying I'm Republican. I don't trust any of them. That's why I feel like I want to be the one that indoctrinates my children.
Right.
I want to indoctrinate them. You know what I'm saying?
As you should be.
All of that shit is indoctrination. But you know what? Let's get that out of there and just start teaching kids real history. Start teaching kids math. Start teaching kids spelling, reading. You know what I'm saying? And stop with the fucking shit that doesn't matter.
So parents don't want that for the kids, the indoctrination, so they homeschool them, which is great. But now the kid's a social weirdo outside because it is homeschooled. So it's kind of like you're damned if you do. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. Even though now I will say, if you're thinking of homeschooling, though, now that it's becoming so popular, what they're doing is they'll homeschool, and then a bunch of the homeschool parents will have like, you know, a bunch of like days when they meet so that their kids can interact with each other.
It's a good idea.
That's a solution.
So that's what's going on now, because they're really pushing for that homeschooling. And
but the
I ain't gonna lie.
Time, bro. Oh man.
Well, see, here's the thing, man. Is it if you're able to have a one person going to work and one person staying home kind of family?
Yeah.
Well, but who can do that, bro?
It's all part of the puzzles.
Who can do
that?
that?
Shit of making women go to work, because it's no longer about the freedom of women going to work. Because if you choose, and if you look at the person who created the whole movement, she said, if we give them the choice, they're going to choose to stay home. And it's not a thing of laziness. It's a thing of, naturally, a woman wants to nurture her children and bring up her children and take care of her household. And that's her fucking place. So they said, we can't give them the choice. So what did they do? They started shunning women, if that's what you do, and making women go out to work for somebody fucking else, make them money. Now you're not taking care of the family. And you go, why can't the man do that? Okay, well, the man could do that. But the problem is now they're making it where two people are getting taxed. They know the money that's in that. So they raise prices. So now both of y'all got to work. There's no excuses. And now once again, boom, the puzzle goes. They're the ones indoctrinating.
Double the tax base. That's it, bro. Doubling the fucking tax base.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with this whole trans thing, dude. Why are they pushing it? Do you know the money that they make on one person transitioning? You got to follow the money. The people who do these trans, when you go to see a shrink, they're not real shrinks. These motherfuckers are part of a fucking, the LGBTs or whatever, pushing that fucking agenda. And they're telling your kid, yeah, you're a woman. Whatever happened to, whatever happened to tomboys.
Hold on. Time out, bro. What? I Googled how much does it cost to be trans, right?
Yeah.
And the first article that comes up is from Teen Vogue magazine.
Jesus.
It says, you won't believe how much it costs to be transgender in America. One trans one trans woman details her personal journey. She decided to come out to her friends and family at trans at 15.
Yeah.
She says, I knew I'd been in the wrong body for as long as I can remember. I didn't quite have the words to articulate my feelings until I found a YouTube of someone transitioning. I realized there was a medical term for the feelings and that I could transition too. I was born a boy, but now I could be a girl.
Yeah.
All right, let me, to the hormone therapy is $1,500 a year.
A year. All right. That's why they're trying to do it to children younger.
Right.
All right. Because for every year they can get it younger, that alone right there, $1,500 a year. Now you go down to these prices of actually transitioning and the drugs that you got to take every single day.
The gender reassignment surgery, $30,000.
$30,000 just on that. Now you get them younger.
Facial feminization surgery. So I guess it's probably like
they make the woman look a little less square in the face and more feminine in the face.
Right. 25 to
60,000.
Breast augmentation, 5 to 10 G's.
Yeah. And those 5 ones aren't going to look that good, just so you know. You're probably going to want to go somewhere in the middle. You want to go like 8 G's.
Yeah, 7,500 at least, bro.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. What they don't realize is that these people don't care about your children. They care about the money. And they're trying to make it younger and younger because the quicker they get them, then they have them.
And they got
because even if
with the military now, they got especially with the military. If you're in the military and you're transgender, the military now has to pay for your gender reassignment fucking surgery.
Which means the American taxpayer has to pay for it. That's the one thing people never fucking realize is that the government has $0. All the money that the government has is our money. So everything that they do, they're spending your cash, and people should be more aware or
upset
angry
about how they're spending our money.
Yeah, upset about it. Like, how do people not get mad about that? Like more regularly? Like, oh, the government's just pissing the money away. They're pissing your money away.
It's
our money. Our money.
Yeah,
My
they're
money.
not generating any. Well, I mean, I'm sure they generate some revenue now.
Dude, no, it's next to nothing, bro. Yeah, the only thing that
with merch and shit like that, American flags, I'm pretty sure they got that kind of locked.
Yeah, but no, they're not the ones selling the flags, bro. People make American flags.
It's all out to other companies. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's fucked up. And like I said, they don't care about your kids. What they care about is the younger they get them, even if you decide later, like you was just saying, how they're all fucked up. Like if you decide later, no, I want to go back. I was just going through a phase. You still have to stay on drugs after that.
Yeah.
So they got you for a lifetime on drugs.
Fucking crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And people refuse to just see how simple that is. And like I said, man, when it comes to things like that, and even things like pedophilia, I've said it before, and I've heard a comic once say, I think it was Chris Rock who said it. I'm glad I don't have that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm glad I don't have that because I think there is a thing of a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? And I do think if a person is attracted to young people, they should definitely start seeking some sort of mental fucking, help. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? I do believe it's a mental thing. I don't think anyone sets out to be one of the most despised people on the planet. So I'm glad I don't have that.
Right.
And I'm glad I don't have, I'm glad I know what I am and I know who I am and I feel comfortable in my body. I'm glad I have that. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I understand all the different things that go on in my body.
Yeah.
that I'm in touch with my feminine, my masculine, my, like all that shit. Like the fact that I might cry one day doesn't make me go, oh my God, am I gay?
Right.
Or am I really a woman? No, I cry every day. So I would be going through that every day.
It's basic shit. Like I said before, sometimes you feel a little more masculine. Sometimes you feel a little more feminine. You know what you are. These kids, they're so impressionable. But now the conversation I just had in there, these people are in their fucking mid-20s to mid-30s. And they're like, I'm like, what the fuck? What? Like, huh?
Your face is fucking priceless.
It's like, but that was the face I was making in my head. Back there, I had to really work my muscles in my cheeks and shit to stay neutral face looking. You know what I'm saying?
You talk about faces. Can you see that right there, that line?
Oh, yeah.
I call that my corona crease. Because every time, and that's where it first came, but now it's continuing, it's growing into more of that. But it started with the corona, because every time I would talk to somebody, see, I'm trying to rub it out. Every time I would talk to somebody about corona and they would talk to me, I would look at them like this.
Right.
And that just stayed there. That stayed there now, from being like totally amazed at what these people are saying.
Insanity.
Totally amazed by it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are still people who still think that the vaccination works. They admit it doesn't.
It doesn't prevent transmission. It doesn't prevent getting it.
No.
Or spreading it.
No.
What the fuck does
it doesn't make it that bad.
But
and yet they're still making people take it though.
Money, follow the 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 money.
It's always about
Biden
money.
Biden came out and said, we beat Big Pharma. He said, we beat them. No other presidency has beat Big Pharma. We beat them. They did what no other company was ever able to do, which is force you to buy their product. I can make anything I want to sell, but what I'm not allowed to do is force you to buy it.
Yep.
He's saying we beat Big Pharma, but yet their whole crew made it mandatory to get what Big Pharma was selling, because it was being sold, people. It wasn't being given away freely. You know what I'm saying?
Now listen, hold on a second. I want to clear something up for everybody, because this is what everyone fucks up. The vaccines were free for you to get, but the vaccine research and all the logistics that go behind it. I'm talking about from, the plastic toppers that go on the top of the syringes. I'm talking about the little fucking clear bags that they put everything in, all those masks that went out to all those people. All of that came from taxpayer money. And we have the stats here. So drum roll, please. Your free vaccines cost how much? Let's see, 195 billion just from Pfizer and BioNTech, right? Novavax got 1.6 billion. AstraZeneca got 1.2 billion. Johnson & Johnson, 456 million plus another $1 billion. And then 955 million from Moderna. And all at the same time, while all their stock prices are fucking going up.
Yeah. And everyone's getting rich. How do people still think they care?
This is the thing that I've tried to get through to people who know me, right? So people who know me on a personal level know that I had a problem with pain pills, right? They were all manufactured by all of these same companies, right? And they got people hooked on them through marketing campaigns, not unlike what they're doing now.
Is that how you got hooked on it? Or did you just take it and like it?
I took it and like it pretty much,
Okay, I think that's how most people get hooked on it.
Well, no, I mean, dude, I think
most people are watching. I never went to the doctor and said, yo, could you get me some of that Zecaficilin that I saw on television?
I went to rehab for the first time in 2012, right? And that is the same time when they stopped making the original Oxycontins, the ones you could crush up, you could snort, and you could smoke, right? So from 2012,
the good old days.
When I went in 2012, the breakdown was this, right? It was like 50-50, 50% opiates. Most of that was pain pills. And there was like 5% of the people that were on heroin, right? I'm talking about the rehab as a whole, 150 people. The other 50% was a mix of alcohol, coke, crystal, just whatever else, right? Fast forward 2 years later, and now mind you, a lot of the people in this rehab are like 30, 40, 50-year-old like construction guys who just kept getting hooked, right? Yeah, 2 years later, I go back, 90% of the rehab is in there for opioids, and 95% of them all in there for heroin. And I'm talking about like people you would see is just like the plumber, business owners, guys who never did drugs at all, right? Didn't even smoke weed.
Oh yeah, no,
barely even drank.
They definitely got everybody hooked on it. They definitely got everybody hooked on it.
So then go ahead.
No, that was pre-fentanyl even. The fentanyl now is fucking even making things even crazier.
Yeah, man. I mean, and the fact that fentanyl has always been around, way before they started cutting it in dope. You could buy fentanyl on the street from people, all day, but it wasn't like common like it is now. But these same companies, Johnson & Johnson, man, they just got slapped with a huge lawsuit. And at the same time, they're still getting funding to operate. How do you not make those connections? It's the same place.
I think the same Tupac. I think Tupac said it best when he said, "They don't give a fuck about us."
No, they do. They do care about us, and I'll show you what they care about. This is the government's revenue for 2018. So about 92% of the government's revenue comes from taxes, business, corporate, or personal.
About 50, 60, 86% comes from us.
No, that's 90. That's 92, bro. Oh, well, I mean, yeah. I see what you're saying. 86%. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, even this, tax, right? This is something that people don't get. Like, if you have a job and say you make $15 an hour, your boss is paying $17 because they get taxed first by the government as an employee tax, and then you get paid, and then they take a cut off of that.
Yep.
And then when we go out and buy stuff, then they're taking cuts on that.
Yep. So at the end of the day, you spend about 98% in tax. Not 98, by like 80.
No, I don't think it's that high. It's probably like 40 or 50.
All right. Well, you think a little better than I do, and you probably know better numbers than I do.
Yeah.
I'm no mathematician, never claimed to be.
That's why
hey, Jason,
Florida, folks.
Jason.
Yep.
What's your Instagram? What's your Facebook? If people want to follow you, where can they find you, man?
At Jason Scoop on Instagram, at Jason Scoop Comedy on TikTok, and at Jason Scoop Comedy on YouTube. So basically just type in Jason Scoop on any of those.
Even for your podcast, right? For the Trump podcast, they got to go to the Jason Scoop channel.
Jason Scoop Comedy channel on YouTube, and the podcast, it'll be right there. You'll see it. The Donald J. Trump podcast. Yeah.
Dude, I love you. I want to thank you for being on. If he wasn't in your car, I wouldn't even try to stop it. I'm like, he's in his car. He's got his boy there. He got over 2 hours work with my brother. Yeah. I definitely want to get you back on, dude. It was so much fun to see you.
For sure. Just let me know.
Yeah, dude, I want to thank you for that too, man. I hit you up and you were just like, tell me when.
Yeah.
And I didn't respond because I want my response to be when. You want to follow my boy Brian, you can get him at Brian the Video Guy. I want to thank AC Jokes, our newest sponsors, acjokes.com. If you guys want to check them out, you want to see me, I'm up here in Atlantic City. That's the way to see me. acjokes.com. It's the #1 comedy club in Atlantic City. So don't believe the hype if anybody tells you different. All right. And also, if you guys need some good bud, check out my boys over at Apollo Bud in Astoria, Queens. Apollo Bud. What is Apollo Bud? One of the illest. Yo, dude, I'm telling you right now, they got strands from everywhere. They got Jungle Boys. They got all that stuff, but it's their homegrown stuff that I love the most. It makes me feel like I'm in high school when I smoke it. I want to leave work early and go home and smoke a blunt and watch something stupid. It's fucking great. And also, dude, if your loved one and you're feeling a little bit in the rut, you don't know how to get your sex life going again, get shit hot in the fucking bed, check out XXXplayground.com. It's only the best adult sexual tool game ever made. XXXplayground.com. Pick one up today and get fist deep in the one you love.
For 2 to 12 players.
2 to 12 plays, man. You can make it a party. Get 12 of your closest friends.
And after you're done and you're tired and you just had so much fun playing Triple X Playground, get a hot cup of tea and enjoy it out of a Rated G mug while listening to Rated G. It's our favorite Rated G quote mug. It has his quote on the back. My ignorance is what makes me adorable. It's what we know. And it is true. He is ignorant and he is adorable. So, you know, get one of those mugs.
I actually ordered some. Make sure you order from the right place. All right. I'm talking to Brian. I'm like, yo, did we just jerk me? Did I just get jerked by my own fucking company? Yeah, but get a mug. I'm picking up a bunch of them, dude. I'm getting a bunch of them. I love the mug. It looks great. And you also support the podcast. All right. So if you want to find ways to support the podcast, there's ways you can support us, baby. Buy a fucking mug if you want, or just like, subscribe, throw some comments in there, get that shit fucking popping. Big up to my man, Jason Scoop. Follow this boy right here. You will not be disappointed, man. He's always putting up great content, putting up shorts and all kinds of stuff. You're going to love him. I love him. He's my brother. Don't hang up yet after we end, because we like to talk a little bit afterwards, and I want to just, talk off the camera with you. Brian, I love you. Oh, don't forget to check me out every Monday night at the Grizzly Pear Midnight Show, and every other Monday over at Apollo Bud. We got it popping out in Astoria. Follow me, Gary G. Garcia, to see all my dates and everything. I'm also headlining over at Comedy Cove on I think it's the 9th and 10th or some shit like that. Follow me, Gary G. Garcia. Catch me at the Comedy Cove. Till then, peace. Thanks for listening.